may have more heat. It's going to be on grass. I mean, everything will be a little bit different on Wednesday, but that's probably the type of effort we're going to need on Wednesday in a really big head-to-head with Birmingham.
Bob, did you expect the physicality that came out of tonight's match? You talked about the playoff feel to the match, but the way it went physically and the way it was called.
Yeah, I mean, they try to push a lot of guys higher up the pitch. They struggled to get set up in our end. When they're at their best, they have you pinned back and they control large portions of the play. I think they struggled to get deep because of how well we started the game. We showed we could hurt them in behind, even in the first half. Dia, Perez, those are in effect wingers that we're having to play outside back most of the game instead of cheating higher and higher. It took a lot of work from Dixon, Russell, Robbie, Dikwa, but they were getting into attacking moments. It's encouraging to see. The game Angelo had tonight was really good because he did a good job defensively and he was able to impact the game. Towards the end of the first half, he found some moments to start to get forward, and he found more in the second half. And the fact that he was able to give us 90 with Shane out tonight was important for the group. And I thought overall it was a good team performance, effort, and mentality and soccer smarts, however you want to, I think they nailed a lot of things. They just maybe needed to take a little more gamble or risk to get a few more guys into the box at the right moments. I think there was a goal in it for us. A couple, even when Kiza escaped late in the game, instead of trying to shoot it, I think if he just pokes it around, and Kyle's on top of him, if he just pokes it around him, Kyle can't touch him or it's going to be a red card, And I think we had some of those moments where it just seemed like just one more guy sniffing around to pick up the next ball. We had their net vulnerable enough times. It seemed like something was going to happen, but. It's tough. They're an experienced team. They don't give much away. We kept our concentration. Jelani hasn't played 90 that much recently. Angelo hasn't. They were in a back four all night. They had a lot of work in front of them, and I thought, they did a really good job. And, listen, I know when I speak to you guys and have said we've been inconsistent. We have been. We haven't had many performances with that type of conviction, and the conviction was right tonight. The effort was right. The mentality, and I think that's really positive for the group, because at this time it's what we're going to need to win some of these games down the stretch. And what we're going to need going into playoffs. Hopefully, what we're going to need to secure a home playoff game. But we need that now. Tonight for that first game of our final six that we know are super critical. I think the guys showed up.
You mentioned Kelly. He typically plays midfield. Tonight you had him outside back. What went into that process? And you already said that you thought he played well.
Player. Some other guys have had opportunities out there and been inconsistent, and Angelo's had his ups and downs at times, but he's been good more times than not when we've used him. And he's in a really competitive central midfield area. Like I said, with Shane out, that wasn't an option out on the right. Shane will be back. Nate Dos Santos is out at this point, so it makes us a little bit thinner in the back. And now we do have Rivera, Toby Sims, Luke, Biasi, Jesse Williams. We have a lot of guys, but none of them have the experience other than Rivera. Danny played, against Louisville and has had some good moments. I think Angelo's a little bit more sturdy in terms of his defending and did a really good job. That's a tough matchup. And, he did well enough on Musha Galutha that they switched Musha Galutha and Ombi at one point. And, he held up all night. So that's encouraging. Yeah.
Of late, Coach, you've been playing excellent on the road. You have not lost in 5 games, four victories. What do you attribute the sudden great play on the road? And in fact, you kind of have a better record of late on the road than at home. Are you guys more just relaxed when you go on the road, or what do you attribute your road success to?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've had winnable games on the road. Obviously, we've had winnable games at home. It's a bit annoying that we tied New York and Charleston the last couple of weeks. Those should have been wins, and then you guys would be saying, man, you guys have only had one loss, the Memphis game, in your last 12 at home or whatever. So it's, tonight was always going to be a tough game. I think we played well enough, to put ourselves in a position to get a result, but we have to do more, and we'll have to, you're going to be on the road. You may not get, the game may be tilted, just like we had moments, Louisville had moments. They weren't able to find it. We maybe had a few more dangerous moments, but that's going to be key for any team at playoff time. If you're able to sustain your concentration, whether you're home or on the road, when you get those moments, can you capitalize? I think both teams will be a little disappointed that they didn't find a way at some point. But I can't fault the intensity or effort. I think they dug in and worked extremely hard, and even the guys we put on as subs were ready for the game speed, which was quite demanding tonight and quite physical. So I mean, we're not the biggest team in the midfield and up front. Decent size in the back, but that's Robbie Mertz holding up to all those physical challenges. Canardo, Danny Griffin will scrap, Angelo will scrap, but some of those other guys, Dix, Luis, I mean, they were in for the battle tonight, and we're going to need to have that type of grit and determination, to be successful here at the back end of the season.
Speaking of Robbie, how has he gelled coming back into the team, in your opinion? Obviously, being here before, maybe still knowing a couple of the guys, and how satisfied are you with his play since he's returned?
Good. He's there consistently in training, in games. I mean, he's pretty good on the ball. He unlocked some things today, dug out some balls. We haven't scored a ton recently, so the goals and assists aren't necessarily happening for him, Russ, Kenny, but we play with that type of effort and that concentration level over 90 minutes. If we're anywhere near that type of performance against Charleston and New York, we're winning those games. So now it's a matter of doing it. Don't just raise our level for the one game against Louisville. And that's one of the advantages in some ways of having, you got to show up now. And because we're going into the playoffs in 6 games, we don't need to go missing at this point of the season. We need to show up. This is the time to do it.
Great saves that actually stop some goals. Has he solidified the number one spot as your?
We've been going to him more. So I mean, I think he's been a little bit more consistent than when, but you know, I think for us it's we train, we get ready for the next game. You know, we're not going to keep flip-flopping goalkeepers at this point. I think Jamali was solid tonight, and you know, he's got to get ready for Wednesday, and hopefully we'll get guys to recover tomorrow and get them ready for Birmingham. And we'll need similar type of effort and mentality from tonight that will help us win in Birmingham. And we're going to go down there and try to win the game. We're not going to try to, you know, we did the things we had to. I think, you know, we get a little bit better spacing or a few more moments where we get numbers in the box. We find the goal tonight, you know, and I think it was there. It just didn't happen. But I feel comfortable. We put enough into the game that's a playoff type game that we can win, and we'll find the goal. And it's nice to get a shutout, and you know, we'll try and build off of it. Good.